Welcome back, everybody. Great news. I successfully disputed a fraudulent copyright claim for the first episode, so this series is moving on for now. There will be more claims. I hope I can dispute them all. I replayed the first mission and managed to save all 600,000 people that were in those cryogenics trade. I really feel for this. I really empathize with this game and its people. So now we're moving on with original lore from the original instruction manual. So watch the cutscene and enjoy the episode.
Cryogenic trays have been processed, and our colonists are safe for now. We are all that's left of our world, our culture, our people.
From the interrogation, we learned that a frontier fleet patrolling the borders of a vast interstellar empire was dispatched to destroy our planet. The captain claimed our people violated a 4,000-year-old treaty forbidding us to develop hyperspace technology. Extermination of our planet was the consequence. The subject did not survive interrogation.
Hyperspace jump successful.
Scanner data indicates asteroid density is highest in this region. Commence resource gathering.
Assembly underway. Construction underway.
Resource controllers are available for construction. To improve the efficiency of collection, build one and position it near the asteroid vein.
Well then, now that we're settled, the strategy remains the same, trying to get lots of salvage corvettes and some interceptors to distract the enemy while we capture their corvettes. We want our corvettes, their frigates. The salvage corvettes don't really do a good job capturing fighters because they're too fast, admittedly. So, what I want to do is, while I leave you watching...
Long-range sensors indicate a mothership-class mass signature. It's coming in fast. Power readings are off the scale. Full combat alert. Stand by for contact.
Alright, let's just watch this cutscene here.
Ambassador away.
Trajectory locked in. Hailing signal open on all channels. Entering magnetic field now. Almost there. Fleet, we've lost guidance and are being drawn in. A lot of lights. There seems to be some kind of activity inside. I can see.
We are the Bentusi, and welcome you on spacefaring cultures, beyond bound. The Eldred trade routes were established for the first time by our ancestors. The resources you collect are of value to the Bentusi exchange. They will serve as an acceptable medium for trade. It has been our custom to equip trading partners with an exchange unit. It is therefore been provided to your ambassador as a gesture of goodwill.
Fleet, this is Ambassador. We are clear of the Bentusi vessel. All systems green. Harbor Control has released guidance and the exchange unit is secure. Receiving crews. Prep the quarantine chamber.
Roger that. Quarantine standing by.
Bentusi trading link established.
Ah, the Bentusi. I'd almost forgotten that they came up this early in the game, so I am going to take that ion.
Tyrannic raiders, servants of the Taidan, are arriving. They must not learn of our contact. We must depart. All that moves is easily heard in the void. We will listen for you. Farewell.
Alright, I got that ion cannon technology there, and now we're gonna have to deal with those nasty raiders. So like I was saying, I am going to leave you with some battle footage here of the fight against the Tyrannic raiders, the Taidani hounds. And while I do that, and while you watch these beautiful scenes...
Tyrannic raider fighters are attacking. Prepare for more hostile ships to arrive.
These beautiful scenes, I want to let you listen to the voice acting here. While you're with these beautiful scenes, I am going to give you a brief story, background story, some original lore from the original manual, the instruction manual, which was back in 1999. These things, there were lots of these things that were authentic works of art. So allow me to give you a brief explanation of who the Kushan are, the Taidan are, the origins of the people of Kharak.
Group 1 reports
So here we go, and I'm gonna start reading here. A Question of Origins, that's the title of this chapter.
En route. Group 1 reporting.
The debate over our past on this world reaches back through the entire documented history of civilization, a period covering over 1,300 years. The harsh conditions across this world, Kharak, fueled the myths of other places and times where we did not have to spend so much of our strength on simple survival. While the issue of our distant past was primarily a religious matter, it wasn't until the dawning of the time of reason that advances in the biological and chemical sciences revealed a disturbing lack of commonality between our biochemical makeup and that of most Kharakid life. Ironically, it was the birth of the Diamid movement, with its many scientific breakthroughs, that created a philosophical environment where the oldest myths and the newest theories could be wedded into what we now have accepted as the xenogenesis theory. Except for a small variety of bacteria and a single species of small forager, our helix proteins are completely different from all other life forms on Kharak. We are left with no other choice but to seriously consider the theory that we are aliens to this world. Of course, this answer only leads to more questions. Now, a small note on Kharak's environment. Kharakid environment. Kharak is an old planet, 6.7 billion years, that is nearing the end of its geological activity. Most major terrain features have been weathered down, and vast deserts cover most of the world except for the polar regions. These are shielded from the encroaching sands by the 3 northern seas and the great Magirian Ocean in the south. Temperatures along the equator can approach the boiling point of water, and the only life forms larger than microbes survive by burrowing deep under the sands and allowing subsurface water channels, or by hibernating during the hottest months. The polar regions are...
Tyrannic raider capital ships have just emerged from hyperspace near the mothership.
Uh-oh, we've got hyperspace in. Alright, let's continue. The polar regions are almost optimal for our people, but the limited arable land and scarce resources have prevented our population from growing beyond 300 million.
reports enemy contact.
Okay, that was a small note on the Kharakid environment, and now you can see I'm using my fighters and corvettes to dance around these ion array frigates and trying to capture them with our salvage frigates. Okay, now, small note on the Heresy Wars, circa 520.
Salvage corvette.
Early history of Kharak is marked by conflicts between various clans based on territorial considerations and religious dogma. This came to a head in 520 when the 2 largest clans in the north, the Sidim and Galcian, went to war over the issue of what had caused the gods to place us on such a world. The Sedim believed we once were a great race, living in paradise, but had been punished by the gods for our hubris and cast down to this world. The Galcian believed this idea to be heretical arrogance in light of their belief that we had been created to suffer from the beginning, and Kharak was all we could hope for. The conflict eventually spread to the southern zone as well. Even more obscure points of theology provided the rationalization for a series of wars, large and small, that lasted almost 300 years and created clan feuds that would not be put to rest until the discovery of the Guide Stone. Remember the Guide Stone from the previous episode, I hope. If you don't, go watch it. Small note on Tor, circa 810. This is related to the Time of Reason. Tor. The Heresy Wars left our people on the brink of extinction, with precious resources and infrastructure destroyed during 3 centuries of religious conflict. In 810, with all factions exhausted and falling from internal anarchy, a small clan from the settlement at Tyr emerged from hiding. This obscure northern clan was the first to develop chemical explosives and was thus unmatched in clan warfare. It also preached a worldwide view based on science and logic and offered protection to anyone who wished to live in such a world. A few decisive battles showed that none of the theological clans could hope to defeat the Nabel, and within 20 years Tyr was the new capital and the Time of Reason had begun. And here I go trying to figure out, I was trying hard to figure out where the carrier was, or the mothership, because I didn't remember that there was one, so I looked around, and here you can see I'm trying to capture those ion frigates. Again, I sent my own ion array frigates back to let the interceptors distract these guys and send my salvage corvettes in. Now, lots of times... Oh, hold on, cutscene.
Reinforcing their squadrons of fighters and corvettes.
Alright, let's try. I actually try to take that carrier with my salvage corvettes, but as you'll be able to see, they are unable to capture it. I believe this is just for this mission. Either that, or because I haven't developed technology to actually build my own carriers, and when I do, I'll be able to capture them as well. I'm not too sure, I don't really remember how it worked in the original, but we'll see. In any case, this is a cool fight. Alright, the Xenogenesis question, and hopefully we have time at least for this first part. The Xenogenesis question and early spaceflight missions. It was becoming more obvious that we as a species were relatively new to Kharak. However, this theory alone did not bring peace to our world. The mechanism used and reason for our arrival was still being hotly debated, and was even cause for a theological revival on the eve of our first orbital flights. The age of orbital exploration revealed the first clues that we were not indigenous to Kharak. Once we had progressed to piloted flights, reports of unusual pieces of metallic debris in high orbit soon led to dedicated retrieval missions with surprising results. While nothing larger than a handspan could be found, samples were brought down from orbit and soft-landed in the high desert. Initial analysis made it obvious that these were pieces of advanced manufactured and machined structures. Detailed atomic analysis revealed trace elements and isotope combinations.
Warn the Tidan fleet of our pursuit. Do not allow them to hyperspace.
We will not allow them to hyperspace. Moving on. Detailed atomic analysis revealed trace elements and isotope combinations unknown on Kharak, or, as it was eventually discovered, anywhere else in the stellar system. And to finish the Xenogenesis question, this was yet another piece to the puzzle of our origins, but it did not truly confirm anything except that some kind of alien device or ship had once orbited our world. Though not decisive, the discovery of this tiny debris belt spurred great leaps in metallurgy and manufacturing simply by showing that exotic, high-tensile composite materials could exist. This in turn led to advances in propulsion, first with limited fissioning of unstable heavy elements, and then with more viable hydrogen fusion power plants. Oh, I think we're taking out the carrier. Is this it? Ah, that is just gorgeous. I'm very sorry about those screenshots. I should have turned off those notifications.
The Tyrannic Raiders have been defeated. We can now return to our immediate goal. Preparation for an attack on the Taidan fleet that devastated Kharak. Using data from the Taidan vessel captured at Kharak, we have been able to determine their location. If we strike now, we can take advantage of their damaged condition. Hyperspace coordinates have been transferred to Fleet Command.
Alright, now while we finish up and clean up, let me just finish the Xenogenesis question. This in turn led to advances in propulsion, first with limited fissioning of unstable heavy elements and then with more viable hydrogen fusion power plants as effective shielding systems became lighter and smaller. The combination of these technologies spurred our fledgling space program even further, and our first steps became leaps. We were poised on the threshold of space, looking outward for answers when a twist of fate turned our eyes back to the surface of our adopted world. That's gonna be it from reading with TheNirl. And I really enjoyed. I read through this manual, this instruction manual, like, I don't know, maybe 10 times. I translated parts of it for school projects. It was a really magical moment. I hope you've been enjoying this, and next episode we'll move on to the next mission. So now all I have to do is collect all these resources, and I'll see you next time.